Hey guys, welcome to Scott Family Homestead. I'm Christine, and let me show you something super exciting. Look what I found this morning. My first black hollyhock. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I planted two colors in here. There's the black and then some double pinks. But I was really hoping we'd get some black ones in here. So this is just outside my garden. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The garden is doing so good right now. So much of the hail damage has recovered. Everything is so happy in here. Got some nice big onions growing. The tops still look kind of awful, but you guys were right. They did not mind. They did not mind the damage. Got our garlic almost ready here. Calendula is flowering. It's looking good. This side is doing really good too. We've pulled a lot of our lettuces and greens, but everything else is filling out so nicely. Kids' gardens look great. We're getting some of our broccolis and cauliflowers going over here. It's so good. Okay, so what I came out here for is working in the high tunnel. I've been trying to do a little bit every day because it gets so warm in here. I don't know how warm it is outside right now, but it feels like it's got to be at least 85 in here, and I just got outside. So we're gonna do some work. I'll show you what I'm up to. I've been working on trellising these rows. So we use the Florida weave, which is basically, we use baler's twine so that we can cut it out easily in the fall, and it just crisscrosses between every plant. And this row only has one, but as you can see, some of the other ones have got 3 or 4 already. And we're trimming up everything so they look real naked on the bottom. We're trimming off all of those branches. We're getting them nice and bare, good airflow. They look a little pinched right now in some areas because I just did these yesterday, and it takes a little while to get them kind of trained upright. It's not the prettiest way to trellis tomatoes. I would love to get one of the systems that has the drop lines that you can clip the tomatoes up. But with how many tomatoes we grow, this is a great way for us to do it. We've got 8 tomatoes in each row, and we're able to kind of spread them out side to side so they don't grow so bushy outwards. Now this row, I've got the very start on the twine, but I have fallen behind. So this is what the rows look like when you don't have them pruned and you don't have them put up. But then we get them looking like these rows over here. So that row looked just like this one yesterday. We're working through here, pruning, trellising. We're gonna get this sea of tomatoes taken care of. I'm gonna work on this for a little bit. I'll probably do a time lapse, and then I'll show you guys the rest of the farm and kind of all the things we have going on, some updates. First though, we gotta see how much we can get done before it gets too hot to work. Holy cow, it got hot in there really fast. I only got 1 row done today. I think I have 4 left. So if I do this over the next couple of days, we should have everything tied up, everything weeded, everything pruned, and then we're good for a little while. We'll just keep running irrigation in there. We're in a really dry stretch. I looked for about the next 2 weeks. I think there's one night where it might rain. Otherwise it's gonna be pretty dry. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of watering. I am going to get all of those fertilized. My plan is to make some compost tea with some bunny fertilizer, and so that's just soaking it in water in 5-gallon buckets. We'll pour it on the plants, and then everything out here in the raised bed garden will get a shake-on fertilizer because I water from above and that dissolves easily. In there, the shake-on would probably work, but because we use the drip lines and the watering zone is very close to the plant, it doesn't spread much, I feel like there'd be a lot of waste, like a lot of the fertilizer that wouldn't get used. So we're gonna go ahead and do the compost tea in there. We'll get some fertilizer for out here. I like the organic Miracle-Gro shake-on. It just comes in a big tub with a handle and you can just shake it on the garden. So we'll go ahead and do some of that. Everything's doing pretty good, and most of the raised bed garden was topped off with garden soil on top, so it feeds for a few months anyways. I'm not overly concerned about it, but that's just kind of on the horizon. Especially after you trim up all these plants, you want to get some food in them so they can continue to grow. A lot of them have flowers, tons of tomatoes showing up on them, so that's really, really good. I'm very excited about it. I have had a couple of people ask why we didn't plant as much in there this year, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, we have an overabundance of tomatoes and tomato sauce currently in the pantry. I don't need a whole lot of them this year. I'm probably going to sell most of these tomatoes in bulk. I will can up some crushed tomatoes, but other than that, I don't have a huge need for mass quantities of tomatoes. The peppers, they just became a jungle last year. They became very overwhelming. I freeze-dried a lot of them, we froze a lot of them, we canned a bunch of them as pickled peppers. I just have an overabundance right now, so it's a good problem to have, but I was able to kind of spread things out more this year and not have to worry so much about overcrowding and pruning and weeding. I can kind of just let things do their thing. Let them spread out, breathe a little bit better, and we'll just take what we can get. The exterior garden is super productive. It's just going to be a massive amount of food. I'm very, very excited. The next project that I'm working on is building a new pig pen, so let me take you down there. We'll go past the chickens, we'll talk about them for a little bit. We're going to go down to the pig pen, I'll show you what I'm working on down there, and then maybe we'll check in on the cattle. So on the chicken front, we had an exciting week. We got a mama chicken who likes to sit on eggs, and she hatched out 10 babies. She had a batch earlier this spring and just had 4, but this one was a big hatch. So she's got her 10 babies around here. They're hanging out, but we do have a predator problem. Not entirely sure what it is. It hasn't been getting into the coop, and it hasn't been taking more than 1 chicken at a time. So I suspect it's probably a bobcat, which means there's not a whole lot we can do. But for now, we've got a fence running back here. It's an electric netting fence, but it's not hooked up to electric because we're not super worried about the chickens staying over here. More so just keeping kind of a barrier between them. So they can still go around the fence, but it stretches a long ways. It has been working. So we haven't lost any chickens since we put that fence up. It's just open-ended. It goes from one end behind the chicken coop back into the marsh. So far so good, but we'll see about that. But we did lose a handful of chickens to that, and they have been stressed. So not a lot of eggs coming. We were down to getting only a dozen a day. We're back up to about 2 dozen a day. At our peak, it's usually 4. So I'm hoping kind of as there's less activity down here as far as the predator, hopefully we get a few more eggs. So we've just been spending a lot more time down here. We're collecting eggs more throughout the day. The kids are playing down here. We're bringing Wilder down here, kind of establishing a presence, and that seems to be helping quite a bit too. You guys can probably hear the shooting. We've got a shooting range down the road, which usually is pretty quiet and not a big issue, but they're having an event. So I'm sorry about the popping noise that you're probably hearing through the microphone, but that's what that is. Okay, so pig update. We've got 3 adult pigs in here. 2 of them should be bred. They do not have enough space. They are in a muddy mess. We usually rotate them through here with electric netting, but they like to escape. They like to test that fence over and over and over, and if it shorts out, they're out of there. So we're trying to get a more secure fence similar to the one that we have up on the hill that our piglets are in. So I'm gonna build one down here. So I'm working on this, but it is very hot. It is 85 to 90 degrees every day, and I can only do this in the morning. And right now, it's already getting too warm, but I'll show you what I'm up to. We ended up putting in 2 corner posts. So I've got one here by their shelter, and then I've got one all the way down, I don't know if you can see it, all the way down by those trees over there. And then I ran a line yesterday. I mowed under it so the fence line is clear, and we're straightening this out. So this was real wonky, but the second pen, which we took the front fence down of yesterday, came way out and wonky, and so our post in the back seems like it's way in the weeds, but it's actually straight with the cattle fence. So we're keeping a 16-foot width here so the tractor can go through, and now it's going to be 2 straight fences. So I have the line run. It's just baler's twine. It goes the full distance. It's 140 feet. And I've got it marked every 16 feet for a post. I marked it with one of our garden markers so it shouldn't fade. I will use this string through the whole project all the way around. We'll just keep reusing it so it's all marked up and ready to go. I just need to pound these posts in, and then we will be ready to kind of reconfigure what we've got here. The plan is to fence in this entire area, go all the way around the outside. It'll probably be 140 by, I would say 70 or 80, and then we can kind of rotate them through here. The grass grows really well, so I'm hoping that this will be a nice big pen that we can kind of rotate them through eventually. We're going to bring the feeders down here at some point and let their pen regrow with some grass. It's been very bare for a long time. Right now is not the time with the drought coming, but hopefully in a couple weeks we can bring them down here as well and let their pasture grow up. We can put them back in there in the fall. All right, it's much too hot for that. We're about halfway down. I'll do the other half tomorrow. I don't have my field fencing, so we'll go ahead and grab that probably today in town. And then we can start fencing this. So my plan is, they've got all hog panels back here, is to give them a pen that goes the full length, about 2 hog panels deep like they are now. And then I'll start working on the back side, and then we'll let them have the whole thing once I make it all the way around. But this is going to be a big project. It's going to take me a long time because I can only do a little bit each day. I did our cattle fence across the way, the grower fence, and the pig fence in one summer, and I was like super built. I could have pounded posts all day long, but I'm out of shape from that now. It's hard for me to even get the post pounder out there, so do just a little bit at a time. We'll keep working our way around, and I'll update you guys once we get going on this project a little bit more. Last week on the farm, which is kind of a bully. He's not our nicest cow. I don't feel real terrible seeing him go, but he's our last link to Lorelei. So Lorelei was our very first milk cow, and we lost her to an injury much too young, and Doug was her baby. So we sold Rory, her first baby, and Doug is all we have left. So it's a little bittersweet in that respect, but I'm excited to fill the freezers. Get this bully out of here so these two can live in peace and harmony. And then we're gonna do a bunch of rearranging of things in the fall. So much later, probably November, when it's time to bring everybody off of the big field, the steers that we're going to be growing out will join Fen out here. So that will be Mooney, Jasper, and Emerald will come, and this will just be all the boys out here. And then Basil, she's almost ready to be bred. Technically she's at the age where she could be bred, but she's still so petite. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna breed her with our girls who are about to have babies. So she'll wait another 4 months approximately before she gets bred. And then she'll be about 1.5 years old when that happens. So give her a little more time to grow. But then she will end up with everybody else, the ladies, the mamas, the bulls, over in our home field once everybody gets brought back this direction. I am going to start working with Sage and hopefully Margie to get them halter trained. It's gonna take a little bit of work with Margie because she's still very shy, very hesitant, but Sage has a halter on. She has been led around before. I think she'll halter train just fine, but I'm gonna get them kind of working on that, and then we're just waiting for Rosie and Suki to have their babies. Bully. Let's go take a look at Rosie and Suki, if I can get them to come to the fence, and I'll show you kind of what we're looking for. Suki's not looking super pregnant, and she is getting pretty old now, so a little bit skeptical on her. As she gets closer, she looks wider. Definitely got flies out here. I'll get them some fly spray today. Now Rosie's looking a little bit more pregnant. She still has about a month. She didn't look hugely pregnant with her last baby, which was Sage, because she's a little bit taller Jersey, so she doesn't show quite as wide as our lowlines do. Their short little legs, they always look super pregnant. Yeah, we're just keeping an eye on her and kind of waiting to see. She definitely has a bump. My best estimate is August 15th. That's the date where I saw her in heat. So if she took that month, that's when it should be. We shall see. Sagey girl. I'm gonna work on halter training. She was in with Doug for a long time, and just kind of the bottom. The bottom of the pecking order. Now she's getting a little more comfortable with us because she's not getting pushed around so much out here, so she's getting a little more comfortable with us. Then we got Margie. She didn't even bother to come over here. Margie over here just hiding in the shade. She's getting quite the horns. For now, we're not going to breed her because she's related to our bull. She'll probably go with the steers out there. Or maybe she'll find a new home. I'm not sure yet. She's not my biggest fan, so I'm still working on it. Still working on it. So anyways, that's kind of our farm updates, what we've been up to, the projects we're working on. It's a lot of hard work while it's cool out, and just trying to find places to stay cool during the day. We have an old farmhouse, not air conditioned, so we stay inside, find some projects to do in there, working on puzzles, playing games, do all kinds of stuff with the kids. They've got baseball in the evenings, so it's been busy, busy, busy. But thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. YouTube's been pretty slow lately, and so all of you that choose to watch our videos mean so much to us because it really does help us operate our farm. we use our revenue from YouTube to pay to feed these guys. So we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye guys.